But did you know that it's a thing for people to put lettuce on hot dogs?
I've never once seen lettuce on a hot dog, but
Yeah,
it kind of makes sense.
it does not make any sense.
Oh, no.
I would never do it.
I feel like even though you're saying this is probably like 3 people have done it and they put it on the internet. Like, look, everybody's doing this nowadays.
No, I'll show you.
Well, I can take a picture too and say 1 million people do it.
What I'm talking about.
Oh.
Some people even make lettuce wrapped dogs, which I guess makes more sense.
Yeah, lettuce wrapped dogs make sense. You know what I saw the other day that kind of blew my mind was at the local grocery store. They had 2 chili dogs in the cold section. Like, how do you even
heat up?
How do you even heat up a chili dog in the bun already? How long does a chili dog last after you pour the chili on it before you deem it uneatable?
I mean, that's why you need lettuce to help shield between the bun.
Yeah, that's right. The lettuce keeps the bun. That watertight membrane between the bun and the dog.
Hey, let's go. Welcome to the show. We are here, finally, back again. Hello, Brandon.
Hello.
This is episode 50.
This is the 50th?
The 50th episode.
Are you including the episodes where I'm not involved?
I don't believe so.
I like that. That makes me feel better.
Let me look here. Yeah, no, it's because like when I did one with Brienne, it was just called On a Drive with Brienne.
Oh.
I didn't count our man trip ones, so this is just the regular show.
So this is 50 episodes of Spencer and the Beef.
And the
Beef.
That's right.
At least that. Okay, good. That's exciting.
We're still 50. Going strong. Let's see. New year, new us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just recently got some views. We haven't done a podcast episode since when was this? June. Is it June?
We love our twice yearly podcast. If we did that, this would be 25 years later.
What's really crazy is how fast the time goes. Like, it does not feel like it was June that we talked about waterbeds.
But people are clamoring for content from us. I can't tell you how many people hit me up every day. When's the next cast dropping? When can we get that? You know.
They call it cast. When's the next cast?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what the kids say.
Well, some fun analytics for you. Our audience is 59.2% female.
Ooh.
30% male and 10% unspecified. 0% non-binary. So we're not hitting that crowd.
Interesting. Yet. How do we work on the non-binary?
Yeah, we gotta get some non-binaries. 28 to 34-year-olds are our largest demographic, which is the key demographic that advertisers are always going for. 35%.
Where are our advertising money? That's what I want.
I know. 35
Probably
to 44.
Need to do more than twice a year.
Oh, but then we could give up our day jobs.
Oh yeah.
Money. The United States is 90% our audience.
Oh.
Germany is our second highest at 3%.
Germany.
Then we got China with 2.4.
Oh, ni hao.
Ni hao. Saudi Arabia with 1%. Ireland is less than 1%, and then there's 24 others. There's 24 others, which is like a person in each of these 24 other countries.
That's wild.
So we're global. Brandon. We're global
reach. Wow.
Spotify's our highest platform, Apple Podcasts, and then the rest of them. So thank you to all our listeners. That's just a beginning of the year recap to say thank you for listening. We appreciate
and we'll give you another recap at episode 100, 25 years from now.
Yeah, that's the pace we're on. So that could lead into some fun updates. Were your holidays good? Any memorable or fun experiences from your, I don't know, Halloween to now holiday season?
Well, yeah, we had 4th of July. Let me reminisce about 4th of July. Actually, we were driving on the 4th of July. This is the first year that we were driving on it was the first day of our vacation, the 4th of July. So we drove all the way to California that day. And yeah, it was not our most fun 4th of July. It was all done in the car. But we did listen to I'm Proud to Be an American for the full 10 hours that we were driving. So just on repeat. But
and every time you had a stand up.
And that's right. We all kind of jump up at this
and defend her still today.
Well, we've had great holidays. Lots of good stuff happened over the last 6 months, but we'll just kind of bring it back to the most recent holidays. I think one of the
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day. The most recent being New Year's Eve and Christmas. It was really nice that on Christmas morning, we finally had the reaction to a gift that we've always wanted.
Whoa.
Or, just any gift from Santa Claus, from us, for anybody. When Zeke opened his gift, he lost his mind with joy and excitement, screaming and flapping.
Wow.
And it was an electric guitar, and he's been wanting that, and he got it. And most of the time, my kids are pretty like, "Hey, that's fun, thank you," or whatever. But he was, "Oh my gosh,
over the moon,
over the moon," and I love that reaction. Even though I am the opposite, I'm always too underwhelming as far as like when even if I am super excited about it, I've learned to, be more so that I make people feel better about what I'm getting. But that's most of my reaction, even though I'll preface this again, I am thankful and excited. I don't show it on my face or in my reactions, but I know that that's what people want. And after seeing Zeke, I'm like, I should be more like that, because it does make you feel good if you're giving the present, if somebody's flipping out like that. So
that's what we tell Abby. We say, just be a good gift receiver, then people would be happy to give you stuff.
Yeah, right.
Because it's just more fun. It's just being like a spoiled, selfish, or you can go that far, or just into the middle, just like, oh, I am grateful, but I just don't show that. I just say, thank you, this is wonderful.
Yeah, exactly.
Just be over the top, and people love it.
Lose your breath. You got to practice, crying if you can get some tears going. And that's even better.
Even better.
Choked up.
We were excited because this was a first Christmas in a long time that the magic was brought back, right? Because Santa came and Emmy is all about Santa and that whole thing, and she got so excited. And it's interesting. So you bring up a kid getting excited from a present. Do you ever feel jealous of what Santa brings versus what mom and dad give, and which one they're more excited about? You're like, oh, Santa won this year.
I think that I'm happy either way, because a lot of times I can't even remember which is from who. So, and I don't know if they remember. And I don't know if they remember either. If I ask them the year later, it's like, who brought that to you? Was that Santa or was that me and mom? And they're like, I don't know
either. Okay, so they forget.
So they forget.
I bring it up because we got Emmy this we did. Santa did. See, I'm already trying to steal it. It's like a projector that goes on the wall that has a galaxy going and lasers and stuff that look like the stars. And she loves it all the time. Come see my space room. And she's like, who gave this to me? And we're like, Santa gave it to you. And she's like, yeah, Santa gave it to me.
He's the best.
Yeah. We're like, whatever. We gave you this bike.
Yeah, we gave you good stuff too.
You don't care about those.
Well, one of our coworkers was talking to me today too about the gifts and what the kids decide are kind of cool, and they gave their daughter got a Switch and also a Bluey makeup kit, and they thought the Switch was going to blow their mind, but she has just lost it over the Bluey makeup kit. It was like, $20 or something like that. So you're like, what? How come they? You never know what's going to be a hit or miss, but I think it's going to be one thing and not the other. But
I tell you, it was probably one of the most fun Christmases I've had in a long time, just to have a little toddler all about this Christmas spirit. And
seeing this year was a little bit different in our household because we have 4 of our kids that are over 10 years old now. Like it was starting at 11 and up to 17 years old. And then we have Lucy that's 3 years old. But the chaos in the next day, the day after Christmas, is usually like people playing with building a Hot Wheel track or playing with their action figures or doing all these toys and stuff. But there really wasn't any of that because they got an electric guitar, or they got some clothes, or they got, things that weren't as like toys or games or things like that. And so it wasn't as like sit around and play with all your new stuff. So it wasn't as fun the next day for me anyway.
I see.
So I need someone to give me toys. I think that's what I need.
Someone did give you toys, Brandon.
You're right. That's true.
You could have had something to build the next day.
It's true. I was mostly helping Lucy, but
I'm just kidding.
Spencer gave me some STEM things that are like projects to build that look pretty awesome. I'm excited to do those.
But it blows my mind that they're for like children.
I know.
Children can just like make these.
Yeah. It'll be pretty cool. And you got me one box that has like 10 of them in there.
There's like 3, I think.
No, there's a bunch in there.
Oh,
there's like 8 or so. Like,
is that real?
Yeah. So cool. It looks pretty good. But
love it. New Year's, I hosted bingo. You usually throw a New Year's party that I heard was wild. That's cool.
I wouldn't say it's wild. we do a fairly low key, just 2 or 3 extra families in our house, and we just play games and then have a dance party at midnight. So that's
what game did you find that would play multiple, like lots of people? Or did you have to...
We played Outburst this year, and it was the 1998 version. Apparently, all of the questions were from a long time ago. It was like, name 6 tech companies, and they were all like, or computer programs, and one was it was like Windows 98 and and stuff like that. So we had to think of we couldn't say, it was like names 3 trilogy movie trilogies or something like that, and we had to think, all right, pre-2000, like what were
before Toy Story was a trilogy before.
Yeah, exactly. So so it's kind of fun to do it that way, but it highlighted that we have to update some of our games. But we played Outburst and we played Blank Slate, which Blank Slate you can have quite a few people play. You can actually have as many people as you want. You just don't. You run out of the slates that they give you. So if you can get some more things to write on, then you can play as many as you want. But Blank Slate's a fun one too for big parties.
Outburst says it plays up to 99 players.
Yeah, you can have as many as you want. People are just yelling words, I guess. Wonder if you have multiple teams or not, but we had just 2 teams. But we didn't have everybody playing, so most of the kids were not hanging out with us. It was the adults that were playing the games, then maybe 2 or 3 kids that would come in and play with us. But
well, I was doing New Year's Eve bingo calling, so that was also wild.
Yeah, and you have people, a big giant group of people that decided for New Year's Eve, I want to spend it playing bingo.
Oh yeah, every year. For the past 4 years, that's how it's been.
That's awesome. That's fun. I guess
that's 150-ish plus.
You don't have to go to a party and actually talk to people, but you feel like you're doing something, right? So you don't have to make food or clean your house and buy decorations.
Nope, they give you champagne to ring in the new year, or you can have sparkling apple cider or whatever. Sure. And yeah, you win.
I call that champagne with a SH.
Oh, sham.
It's fake. It's fake champagne.
That's good. I've never heard that before. People are clever. I like how clever people are. There needs to be more of that in the world. Let's see. One thing I wanted to tell you about that I had heard or came across, I don't know if it was on a reel or where, but did you know that it's a thing for people to put lettuce on hot dogs?
I've never once seen lettuce on a hot dog, but it kind of makes sense.
It does not make any sense.
Oh, no.
I would never do it.
Well, I mean, sauerkraut is just fermented lettuce, cabbage, so
I guess I don't get that fancy with my hot dogs.
Like they're putting like a strip of arugula on there, or just shredded. I could put shredded iceberg on there.
Lettuce on hot dog. Let me show you.
I feel like even though you're saying this is probably like 3 people have done it and they put it on the internet. Like, look, everybody's doing this nowadays.
No, I'll show you.
Well, I can take a picture too and say 1 million people do it.
There's lots of pictures. This is what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Some people even make lettuce wrap dogs, which I guess makes more sense.
Yeah, lettuce wrap dogs make sense. Actually, that sounds kind of good.
But... Yeah, but then like this just looks weird. But what's interesting is
I have seen tomato on a hot dog before.
You've seen tomato on hot dogs?
Maybe.
Crazy.
I mean, you get loaded ones. You know what I saw the other day that kind of blew my mind was at the local grocery store. They have a section of like pre-made foods for you that you can go and like get like some sushi or some fried chicken or stuff, like cold fried chicken. They had 2 chili dogs in the cold section. Like, how do you even
heat up?
How do you even heat up a chili dog in the bun already?
And can air fryers do that?
No, I don't think so. I don't know how you heat up a pre-made chili dog. Like, it had the chili on it, so the bun's presumably soggy.
Oh yeah, big time.
But I don't want to take away from your lettuce discussion on it.
No, this is great. Now I'm looking at chili dogs and how good they are. When I lived in Cincinnati,
how long does a chili dog last after you pour the chili on it before you deem it uneatable?
Does a chili dog last?
No, I don't think that's a question. I wonder if that question has ever been asked before.
It's soggy. It's just gonna depend on the integrity of the bun.
Yeah. Or personal taste. There's some people that love a soggy bun.
According to Google, it lasts a few hours.
So if I came to you at a Super Bowl party and I drove to your house from my house, with some pre-made chili dogs and said, "Hey, put these out on the table," and then after halftime of the football game, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get another one of those chili dogs that Brandon." I drive you live an hour away.
An hour away.
It's already an hour, and then 2 hours, and then later, you're eating that chili dog. I say no. Nobody ever has ever eaten a 3-hour-old chili dog.
I mean, that's why you need lettuce to help shield between the bun.
Yeah. That's right. The lettuce keeps the bun. That watertight membrane between the bun and the dog.
Well, it's so crazy because Emmy got like a year ago, like a thing of toy food, like a basket of toy food. And it came with a hot dog and it had little grooves for like tomatoes and lettuce. And we just thought it was the most ridiculous thing. Like, this is from some other country.
Yeah, they don't know what a real hot dog
American
is.
Hot dogs.
No.
And then, slowly my phone started saying, we need to tell you about this. And,
well, now that I don't know if you watched the video, you probably saw the light go off in my head about that, keeping the bun from getting soggy, especially if you're a hot dog boiler.
Yeah.
Because then you're pulling it out of the hot dog water and flopping that wiener into the bun.
Yeah.
You get the little drips in there. But if you have a bed of lettuce.
Yep. There you go.
I think even for chili dogs, that's a brilliant idea.
I think at some point I will try lettuce with a hot dog, but I just find it so bizarre.
No, I mean it's just meat and bread. It's just a sandwich.
I know,
that's another debate whether a hot dog's a sandwich.
Right.
Once you add lettuce, it is.
What's the option? It's either just a hot dog or a sandwich, or it's a sandwich.
It's just
or not.
Its own thing. Yeah,
it's own thing. I don't know.
I think that it's a sandwich. That's my stance. The beef says it's a sandwich.
Beef says. We won't argue with you.
Meat in bread that has a, that's not like a pie or something is a sandwich.
Well, just doesn't have to be meat. Is peanut butter is a sandwich. Right, jelly, butter. You just put butter in bread.
My mother-in-law puts butter on everything on her sandwiches. Like tuna fish sandwich, she'll butter it up first. Eat that. I've never thought of it, but they do that in other countries, I guess. She's from Australia.
Oh, I see.
Scotland originally, but yeah, they love
it. That reminds me. Oh shoot! Now I just forgot it. Speaking of butter, let's see what. Dang it! Now I'm thinking about putting butter on everything. Speaking of that, I thought of it. Did you know? So growing up, I don't know if it's a Utah thing or whatever. The easy way to make like cinnamon toast, right, is like you toast your bread, you put the butter on it, it starts to melt, and then you have various ways you could put sugar and cinnamon in a bag, and then put your toast in and shake it, or just like sprinkle.
No, that's not
the cinnamon toast.
Nobody does it that way.
Either way, yeah. Okay. Like when you're a kid and you want to get extra sugar.
Wait, let me back this up. Are you saying that you've put your bread into a bag and shaken it with the cinnamon sugar?
Oh yeah.
That gets over the whole thing?
That's what I'm saying, but you want more. No, not when you're a kid. I haven't done it recently, but what blew my mind, and I actually got Brianne this for Christmas, was I found, and you probably know about this because you go buy food, and I apparently don't.
I do buy food,
but they have pre-made sugar and cinnamon.
No, I've never seen that, but it's a good idea. Why not?
What?
So I grew up. My cinnamon toast method is to make the toast, butter it, and then you'd get some sugar and you sprinkle it on there. Then you get the cinnamon and you sprinkle it on there separately. My kids have always gotten a half a cup of sugar and then dumped most of our cinnamon into that sugar, and then they mix it up and then they sprinkle a little bit on, and then this cup of cinnamon sugar stays in my house for weeks. And then eventually, they use it a few more times, but eventually throw it all away, and it's a waste of all that sugar and that cinnamon.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have.
Look at this
Cinnamon Toast Crunch one and all of these cinnamon sugar.
I bought her this one. Cinnamon sugar from Great Value.
Is the ratio to her liking?
It seemed to be pretty much to her liking, so it worked. And you don't have to put it in a bag.
A little out and put extra of some whatever if you want more sugar or more cinnamon. Yeah. But yeah.
But I just love it. I feel like millennials are the greatest generation, and you're close to a millennial. You're like
I'm on the cusp.
You're on the cusp. but like all the things we grew up are staying with us and just becoming like we haven't had to really grow up. And yeah, like cinnamon and sugar. I don't have to mix it myself now. I just can buy it from the store.
Yeah, back at the end of the 19th century, we or the 20th, the 1900s, the late 1900s, we did not have cinnamon and sugar married together.
No.
Now we can just buy that. Just like fry sauce. Have you seen Mayo Chup at the store?
Yes.
I don't know why they call it Mayo Chup, which is a really stupid name, but it's
trying to be clever.
If you didn't go to Arctic Circle, you had to make your own out of ketchup and mayo, but now you can go buy it at the store.
Is Arctic Circle truly the first ones to come up with it, or like at least mass produce it?
That's what their propaganda would have you believe, and I don't have any other facts to to say it wasn't them.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's good. Mayo and ketchup, for those who don't know. If you put mayo and ketchup together, I like more mayo than ketchup, so I like it to be a lighter. What color is that? Like tan-ish? Salmon? Yeah.
Tan? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Tan. It's not that far. Salmon. for
which
more
it should
mayo.
be more pink when you think about it, because it's red and white, but it comes out kind of an orangish flesh. Flesh, we'll call it flesh color.
It is flesh colored.
Yeah. Well, depending on your flesh.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, your flesh. You got like a PQ right now.
Typical Utah.
Yeah, it's just us white folk.
We'll say salmon.
Or peach. Salmon. But fry sauce is good. I like it. McDonald's used to have fry sauce, and I think their concoction was my favorite. And now I don't know that they do it anymore. Just so you know.
If we're talking fry sauces, I think Arctic Circle is still just my standard.
Yeah.
Sorry for those that outside of the country, as we found out. If you're living in Germany,
Arctic Circle.
Arctic Circle is a fast food restaurant like McDonald's, but just local to the Mountain West, mostly Utah. There's a couple of them in Arizona, I think, and well, maybe not even Arizona. Nevada, and there's one in Wyoming that I can think of, but
gotcha.
Not many.
Well, but try. You could wow all your friends, everyone listening from other countries. Put ketchup in.
Ketchup and mayo together.
Yes.
Just mix those to your taste, and you got some fry sauce, and it's delicious. Especially, I like it best with onion rings.
So, ooh, yeah.
I actually like fries in ketchup.
Have you done Miracle Whip with ketchup?
Yes, I have. Because
do you have a preference between Miracle Whip and mayo to make fry sauce?
Well, for a long time, I thought that you had to like one or the other. Yeah. So I had chosen Miracle Whip as my just dressing of choice for sandwiches, and so that's what I used. And I can't honestly tell you if I remember what it tasted like, but that's what I used to use when I was a kid. When I get tater tots, I'd make some at home that way with Miracle Whip. But I'm sure mayo is probably better because that's the standard. But I have since learned that some meats go better with mayo and some go better with Miracle Whip, and so I mix it up. If you want to know, turkey goes best with Miracle Whip and ham goes best with mayo. And
I can't even tell you what the difference is between the two, other than I just know they're different.
Well, yeah, one's sweeter.
Is that?
Yeah.
Are they made with different things?
I could probably eat Miracle Whip by itself if I wanted to, but mayo, I don't think I could take a mouthful of mayo. If that helps.
That does help.
Okay, good.
I like that. I just thought of a fun segment we should try sometime, which is for a long time I thought you had to like one or the other.
Oh, that's that is a good one.
That is a good one. So
because Miracle Whip and mayo is like one of those things. Do you like Miracle Whip or mayo? What are some other things you can
Coke
think
or
of?
Pepsi?
Yeah, Coke or Pepsi. You can't have both.
No, you either love one or hate the other. Yep. Apple and Android.
Oh, yeah, you can't. You can't do that.
It's not cool to be like, I mean, I like both of them. What's the problem?
This is my problem with my wife most of the time is that I ask her what she likes better in things, and she always says, "Oh, I like them both." I'm like, I know you. I mean, they're both good, but which one's better? Like, she has a real hard time with telling me what's better.
Yeah. So that'll be a fun segment.
But there are some things that there is definite divides where it feels like you need to be on board with one or the other, right?
Yeah.
Wheat bread and white bread or something,
Yeah. Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Even though they're quite different.
They're quite different, but I actually like them both.
I do too.
But I do have one that I like better.
Yeah, same.
Star Wars. Star Wars is better.
Yeah, it's better. But Star Trek has some good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, Star Wars. Speaking of new segments, I thought of one that might be fun to talk about here in the few minutes we have left.
Okay.
I have it called so far our most ridiculous ... So our most ridiculous. And the first one I just thought of we could talk about is what's one of our most ridiculous crack under pressure moments. So like me, for instance, I notoriously crack under the pressure of the drive-through or ordering food now if I can't do it on an app. Like anytime I go to like a new restaurant or I don't know what I'm getting, like I like mentally can't do it. Like Brienne literally has to shout through me to the drive-through to be like, he wants a hamburger.
So you can't talk to people anymore?
I don't know. I've always had a problem with the drive-through. I just hate it because
so
they're
much
like
pressure.
Well, and I feel like I'm yelling, and are they like this? Like when I'm trying to talk, and then if they can't understand me because I say something,
Ooh.
and then they get the order wrong, or a lisp or a Muppet, and they just don't understand. And so, yeah, drive-throughs big time or stress.
But they have no problem understanding Brienne from the other side of the car.
Going through. But then and also like why I hate it, right? Because then you like order and then they make your order, they give it to you, and I don't like to check because I just don't care if it's right or wrong. Like whatever, I'm accepting it and I'm driving off and whatever. Yeah. But I think more and more they're getting orders wrong, and then Brienne's like, you need to man up basically and tell them they. Put pickles on your hamburger. And I'm like, no, just take them off. I don't want to. Yeah,
that's definitely, I can't do that. One time I got, instead of a Big Mac, I got 2 fish sandwiches and I just ate those fish sandwiches. And I don't like fish. I got the completely wrong order. And I just said, I guess I'm eating fish today.
Yeah, I can't do it. So I'm trying to be better, but that's one of my most ridiculous, I guess, crack under pressure things. A drive-through, ordering food. Like we'll fight about who's going to go up to the kiosk or like like in a restaurant to order because we both don't love it.
I don't know if that's necessarily the pressure. I got the part that you going up to order at the kiosk.
Well, not kiosk. A person's there.
The person's there. Okay.
Kiosk I could do, but then I take forever because I'm like, oh, let's scroll through the whole menu. It
does take longer on the kiosk.
But I get the same thing every time. So
that's also true. I don't even know why I look at menus anymore. I get the same thing at every place I go to without fail. So.
Same. And then people are like, you should try something new. I'm like, why? Like, I like it. I'm fine with it. I eat so I don't die, and there we are. But
I don't know what kind of things I crack under pressure for. There's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I crack. I'm a pretty cool cucumber when it comes to most things, but I don't know. I'd have to give that one some thought. That's tough. Right. Though.
You can keep thinking about it. Because another one I thought of too, we could knock out is just like pet peeves. That's always a fun one to talk about. So your most ridiculous pet peeve or peeves that you have.
The problem is that most of my pet peeves come from the people that I spend most of my time with. And so I can't say them on in the public record.
That's fair. I get
into big trouble. But there are pet peeves. What's one of your pet peeves?
Oh man, I got a laundry list of them. Being late is one. I do not like being late, either personally or people just being late, right? I know there's circumstances. It's not every time, but just being late. A fun one is I don't like when people clip their nails where I can see them clipping their nails.
I think that's just life 101.
I don't know.
LOL that you shouldn't be clipping your fingernails outside the privacy of your own home. And even in your own home, you should be in the bathroom or outside.
Yeah, outside or in the shower with the curtain closed. Yeah, catches all the clipping.
And music on, so you can't even hear the clips.
I've had too many roommates or something that like will just start clipping their nails while they're talking to me. And I'm like, what is happening? This is so disgusting. What if one of those gets in my eye?
Yeah.
How dare you?
I one of my pet peeves is when people use common phrases, but they use them incorrectly. Like
when in Rome.
When in Rome, but it's not being used. Or if they're not saying it correctly. Like when people say, I could care less,
Oh
like
yeah.
you need to say, I couldn't care
Yeah.
less. Because if you could care less means that you have more
care to have
more
less.
Care to give.
Yes.
But if you're saying you don't care, then you say you couldn't care less. But people say I could care less.
Right.
That's just one example. But like things like that, when people are using those things and not realizing what they're saying, what they're actually saying.
Yeah.
And I want you to think about those things when you say that.
Does it work where you're putting it?
Yeah. You think you're being clever by using this phrase, but you're not.
I am not sure that I've fully like recovered from COVID, where we shut down and everything, because elevators
5 years ago.
Yeah, because elevators have become I don't know if it's a pet peeve or just even maybe a crack under pressure thing, or I don't know. Just the most ridiculous thing about me is I hate when people rush into the elevator when it's closing, and it's just like you and your family in it. It's like, just wait. Like, I don't want you in here. This is an enclosed space. Like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
First of all, you could kill me. Second of all, you have germs. Third of all, just wait. The door was shutting.
When I go into like our office downtown that we work in, there's 4 elevators, right? And and there's really nothing on the first level. So I know if anybody's going in the same time as me, that they're going towards the elevator. So I'll like either speed up my walk or slow down to the appropriate distance when I know they're not going to hold the elevator for me, or I'm not going to feel obligated to hold the elevator.
Yeah.
Or I'll purposely not look in people's directions or get like in a position where, oh, I didn't see you there, so that I can ride the elevator by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm always so relieved when like the door is already open, so I can just zip right in and get up. If I have to wait, I'm like sweating bullets thinking this
somebody's going to come.
Person is going to come around the corner and they're going to want to get in this elevator with me. I don't want to ride, because this is the problem. I don't care about the germs or anything like that. I care about, do I have to make some sort of small talk?
Well, like, that too.
Got your hands full today, huh? Because they have a couple of bags. Or do I say goodbye when I get off of there? Like, have a nice day. Do I have to say anything? No, I don't think so. But these are the social anxieties that I have as I'm in there with these people. Have fun on the rest of your trip up the elevator. I don't.
Do you find you end up saying something, or do you just like you don't?
It's hit.
So you're like thinking that the whole time, but then you're like, all right, bye.
It really depends on the day and like how friendly the person looks or whatever, but
or how well you know them, because that's what I feel like too.
Oh, well, that's even worse. I don't
know
them.
Like, yeah, but if they're at a level that's not like the small talk is hard, and you're like,
when you recognize their face from being around, but you don't actually have ever talked to them.
Yeah, now you're in an elevator.
Am I now your friend for 3 floors? I don't know.
Yes, elevators.
Okay, elevators are a tough one. I don't know.
Do you ever feel nervous that you're going to make new friends if you talk to people? Like,
man, is this person going to be in my life for the rest of my life now that I say this?
Like, I just decided to talk to you on an elevator, and now what do you do? Because I feel like as you're an adult, first of all, it's harder to make like new friends.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, we just don't like it.
Yeah.
Or it's not as easy. But then you only have so much time for people. So if you make new friends, that could limit the time you have with other friends. And so
wouldn't it be funny though? Because it's like you set a precedence. Like, let's say that we're not in the office enough anymore that we have to worry about like a big pattern coming up. But when we were there all the time, there are people that you would see in the elevator pretty regularly,
right?
And different floors or whatever. And so you would say hello, or like once you start that, precedence of saying something to them, then you have to for the rest of your time. But then you see that person at the mall or something, you're like, oh, hi. And then your wife or your friends are like, oh, who's that? And like, oh, it's somebody I say hello to in the elevator. Like, I guess they're a friend. I don't know. I don't even know their name. I just know that I say hello. and they work on the 6th floor. or like maybe you don't even know because we're on the third floor and they just keep going up and you don't know where they're
yeah, you don't know what floor they get.
But can you imagine? I've never had that situation where I've had to say hi to somebody that I would say, oh, they're just my elevator friend, but it could happen. That's funny. I like that idea.
I feel like you have, though, because that one person that you went on a work trip with.
Oh, yeah. I didn't go on a work trip with them. They were also
all the
there.
shared experience you have. And now you're just tied to.
Yeah. If I have a friend.
I also don't like when you have that one shared experience. And so that's all you ever talk about every time you see that person. Because you don't see them anywhere else, right? So it's just oh man, like at least it doesn't stink like our elevator here.
Yeah, remember that one?
Why are we?
I like the fact that you're afraid that you might make a new friend. I've never really thought I don't want to talk to this person because they might be my next best friend.
Well, for instance, I'll give you an example. I back in the summer, because it's been 6 months since we had this podcast, I probably would have brought it up then. But I was at a park with Emmy, and she was playing and doing her thing, and there was this other guy and his wife, and they had like a 3-year-old too. And so I was like, wow, do I go like? Because then our kids naturally started playing together, right? So I'm like, oh well, do I go talk to the dad? I'm like, I don't really want to, because what if we become friends?
That happened in Bluey.
Literally, yeah, it did happen.
It's a Bluey episode.
So anyway, eventually I could not go talk to him because I think our kids ran into each other and started crying or whatever. So I had to go over there. And then we just got talking, and then we exchanged numbers. And then I just didn't have time to meet him anymore. But that's just why I'm like, if I talk to this person, what if we become friends?
Well, now
it's a whole life change.
A new fear unlocked in me from now on.
Yep. So just think about that on the ski lift. Soon you won't be skiing with your kids anymore. You'll be skiing with Jean Valjean from France, who comes to visit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
interesting.
There you go. Okay, well that'll do it. We'll wrap it up with words of wisdom on this episode of Life LOL. What do you got for us, Brandon?
Hold on, let me get ready for the words of wisdom.
Oh my, yes.
This makes me seem smarter.
Glasses. That's new for our audience as well. Brandon's had to.
My sight has gone downhill.
It's been so long. He's aged.
Yeah, but yeah, that's right. Now I'm so old that I need glasses. All right, so today's word of wisdom, as this is the new year, we just went through New Year, but and a lot of people are making resolutions and things like that. But the words of wisdom I have today come from a English sculptor named Henry Moore, and you'd probably recognize the sculptures he made. They're kind of semi-abstract, big out of bronze. If you look him up, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen stuff like that. But he said that I think in terms of the day's resolution, not the years. I feel like when we make resolutions, or me personally at least, when I make a goal or something like that, it just seems far away. And a lot of times I have time to actually work on those things. But if you think of it in terms of what am I doing today, what's today's goals, then you're going to accomplish more things that way. I feel like I read a book last year called Atomic Habits, and I would suggest looking that up as well. And that's kind of goes back to that too, of what are those little things that you're doing to eventually build up to get that whole, that major overall resolution or goal that you're doing, but what can you do today? And so I feel like, today I'm going to do these things. And if you do those things, then you feel accomplished. You feel like you've kind of moved yourself closer to what you're wanting to do, but thinking in terms of the day's resolutions and not the years. How are you going to make today the best day of your life? So
I like it. It's also good on the negative front in terms of if something, if you're in an elevator and somebody's mean to you,
yes,
letting it not dwell for years. It's just one day thing. They could have had something.
I still think every single day about a guy that flipped me off in Layton or Logan Canyon 4 years ago. So
yeah, see, you gotta let it go.
I can't let that go.
Yeah. So I like it. Thank you. I'll throw up some pictures of his sculptures, so people are familiar. But Atomic Habits is good. I'm reading it actually right now, or reading it. So I'm listening to it. It's good.
It's very good. I liked it a lot.
Do you ever wish you had an idea that you could write a book about, like, that's that good? Like,
yeah. I mean, it would be nice if I just feel like everything has already been thought of.
Yeah.
Like every time I think that I'm original, I'll do a quick Google search and I see that, 13 million people have already searched that same idea. Or...
the Pythagorean theorem is already a thing.
Yeah, they already got it. So many things have already been taken. I'm sure there's new thoughts out there and things like that. But
even recycled thoughts are fine because there's so many books.
Yeah.
And like people aren't reading them. And as long as you don't straight up copy it, you could.
Well, if I, instead of saying Atomic Habits, I just say baby steps.
Steps.
That's from What About Bob, actually. But
the first step you take towards running. I haven't seen What About Bob, so we'll end on that. You're not surprised. You're not surprised.
But you should see it. It's one of those. I think you'd like it.
You'll love to know that when we had Christmas Vacation bingo theme, people were wildly disappointed in me with my assessment of the movie.
Yeah, we don't want to lose viewers, so we won't tell you what, or listeners, we won't tell you what Spencer.
I just missed the boat. I missed it. I should have watched it growing up. I didn't. So there you go. Well, thanks for listening to this episode of Life LOL. We appreciate it. So go ahead and find us on Instagram at life.lol.podcast. We also have a Facebook page. Leave a comment or like our podcast on Spotify if you want. We'll throw up a poll, probably about hot dogs or something.
Let us on hot dogs.
Let us on hot dogs, or how long would you let a soggy bun get
let a
soggy?
Chili dog sit before you wouldn't eat it anymore.
Yeah, something like that. Well, Brandon, thank you.
And share it with your friends too. We want to raise that viewership so we can get them advertising money, and then we can quit our jobs, and then we can do this more than every 6 months.
Yeah, so listeners in other countries, just share with a friend so that we have 2 people in Ireland instead of just you, one wonderful person.
Do appreciate you, wonderful Ireland viewer.
Yeah, leave comments about what you put on your hot dogs.
Sure. What's your
or as Brandon would say, what you put on your wiener. All right. Let's sweeteners.
Send pics, please.
Oh, God. All right. Well, until next time, we hope all your dreams come true. Okay.